I don't deny it. I don't deny climate change. I don't deny there's a climate crisis. I don't deny that it's caused by human activity. But we as sustainability professionals know that many people do, in fact, deny it. Some are utterly bigoted, don't want to know. Some people are not sure. Some people are too preoccupied with other things going on in their lives, like cost of living and everything else. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you about preparing to present to a difficult, a challenging, a skeptical audience. Well, how do we start? A famous person once said, start with the end in mind. And I think that's a very good piece of advice, because I think the most important part of a speech is in fact the end, because that's what you leave your audience with. That's what they're going to remember. So how can you end your speech? There are many, many different ways. You might want to go out with a strident call to action, like become vegan and end the curse of livestock production. Or you might want to go for something more informative, more gentle. Think carbon, because your carbon footprint and your impact on the planet are all affected by your choice of what you eat, use, or wear. Think carbon. Or we could go for the motivational big finish. We can change the world. We can change it together. We can change it now. So how do you actually decide how you're actually going to end your speech? Well, the first and the most important principle I'm going to share with you tonight is know your audience. And we're not talking about a comfortable, cozy Toastmaster audience tonight. No, we're out in the real world, talking to people that we've never met before, a room full of strangers, sitting there thinking, who is this person? Are they any good? Don't let that worry you. What you have to do is to empathize with those people. Try and understand what they're concerned about, why they've come to this presentation, what they want to know, what their fears are, what their concerns are, what their worries are. Now, by looking at the organization that's actually arranging the particular presentation that you're delivering at, you get some idea of the sort of people who are there. And you can tell you're going to get a quite different reaction from the Global Warming Policy Foundation from a local Greenpeace meeting. But you may be able to talk to the organizer and get some idea of what people are expecting, or indeed you might even be able to talk to some of the delegates beforehand and find out what they want. But it is crucial, first of all, that you understand, that you know your audience, so that you can build the answers to what they are worried about into your presentation, and you can be ready to answer those questions that they have when you come to the Q&A session at the end. The second thing I believe is critical is know your topic. What do you mean? We're all sustainability professionals here, aren't we? Of course I know my topic. I'm sure you do. But I think you may well know it too well. And the risk is you'll drop into acronyms and jargon, and you'll skate over topics which are so familiar to you that you've got no idea that some people haven't really heard of them and they're not quite sure what they're about. So you have to make your presentation accessible. But it can be a bit difficult because it's a bit of a tightrope, because there will be people in your audience who do understand quite a lot and you don't want to patronize them. So you can use techniques like, let's remind ourselves how the greenhouse effect works. So you're indicating to one group that we know you know this, and the people who really didn't are saying, I knew that. So you're stroking everybody's ego. The other thing to remember is in a Q&A session, we all get caught out from time to time. If you've got a question that you can't answer, don't try and blunder your way through. Admit you don't know the answer. But get the contact details of the person who asked the question and promise them an answer. Find them an answer and send them an answer. Maintain your credibility. So how is the audience going to react? Well, you're more than likely going to have a mixed audience. You're going to have the bigot who does not want to know. You're going to have people who are looking for information they don't know and they don't understand. And you're going to have some people who know quite a lot. So it's going to, it'll change according to who is actually listening. You need to empathize, not criticize. As I said, you may get somebody heckling at the back who's determined to make their point and to rubbish everything you say. Don't try and take them down. Not even if you've got 10 years experience on the stand-up comedy circuit. Don't try and take them down. Don't argue, because if you lose your cool, you'll lose your audience. Hopefully, if you have got a particularly annoying or worrying person at the back of the room, they'll annoy and worry the audience and they'll shut them up. So as we move towards the end of your speech, what's the objective? Ultimately, some people you will inform. They will learn more. They will understand more about what's going on. Some people will have their enthusiasm, their existing enthusiasm, reinforced. There's still that bigot, probably, at the back of the room, but you may be able to crack open the dark door of doubt, just leaving a little crack for somebody else to leave next time. So that's your big finish. And depending on your assessment of the audience, you will deliver it in one of the ways I described earlier, or another way altogether. So as I come towards the end of my speech, what's my big finish? Well, my message is that I believe our message is to make people aware that we're going to have to change things, but in doing so, we can make a more sustainable, a safer and comfortable future. And our message is to encourage people to take actions to achieve that. And if they're unable to take those actions, then we need their understanding and their permission for those of us who can take those actions to do so. So my message to you as my audience tonight is that our task is vital. Our task is urgent. And make no mistake, our task is difficult. But I'm confident that we will achieve it. In fact, I don't deny it.